I suffered from wounds as a child, wounds that would be considered today as father wounds and mother, all of the other things that comes with relationships. You can find those things within self as well, or other sources of companionship, but just make sure that it's healthy. I had to discover that the ways I was seeking validation were not healthy because I continued to give myself to men who had no sense of what I really needed or even how to validate or affirm me, because they too were wounded. They were emotionally unavailable. So I was giving myself, yearning something that they couldn't give me in return. You are love, and you are able to give yourself the exact form of love that you need. Hey fam, really quick, can I ask you for a small favor? If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's totally free, and it's the second best contribution you can make to this podcast. Please subscribe so we can continue to grow this podcast and grow our community. I thank you and appreciate you so much in advance. Have you ever sat with a pain so deep you wished anyone would say just the right words to make it stop? This episode is for love letters that we never received, but always needed. Hey, loves, welcome back to Where's the Love podcast. I'm your host, Carissa. Today's episode is a little different. This one is softer and slower, and it's meant for the part of you that's still healing. Because sometimes the love we needed wasn't a relationship, it wasn't a partner, it was words we never got. Words that would have made us feel safe, words that would have reminded us that we matter. So today I want to read you the love letters that I wish I got, and maybe they're the ones you needed too. So let's start with my first love letter that I wish that I received. This one is for the child version of me, little Carissa that's still somewhere deep within me that needed the words of affirmation, of encouragement, the words that pulled her out of her shell, but the words that never really hit her. So here it is. Dear little Carissa, you didn't deserve the silence. You didn't deserve the confusion, the absence, the chaos, or the responsibility that was never yours. You should have been held more. You should have been comforted. You should have been protected instead of having to protect yourself. I want you to know this. Nothing was wrong with you. You were not too much. You were not hard to love. You were a child, and you deserve gentleness. I see you now, and I'm proud you survived and turned out to be the woman you are. This love letter means so much to me because as I reflect through this podcast as my open diary and share with you all while I'm still on my healing journey, that I suffered from wounds as a child, wounds that would be considered today as father wounds and mother wounds, wounds of a father that was alive and well, but absent emotionally, mentally, and oftentimes physically, that didn't take the time to really nurture the part of me that needed him most as a child growing up. I suffered from mother wounds because I had a mom who was always physically there and present, but oftentimes and many times not emotionally. She couldn't reach the places in me that needed her emotional connection to nurture and validate those places in me that were growing and yearning for her to give me some sort of emotional connection. And that young girl still lives within me. She's still healing. She's remembering that her validation doesn't come from the outside, but that it always comes from above first, from my Father in heaven, and then from within me. I am my first line of love. I am love because I am the child of God. And He declares that because we are his reflections here on earth with his spirit living alive and well in us, that what he is, we are too. And so if he is love, I am love. And so therefore, I am the love that I need, and my love is enough. And little Carissa didn't know that. No one taught her that. No one sat her down to explain to her that everything you need, you seek above first and then within. And so I suffered. I suffered a lot as a young girl, and a lot of it silently. I didn't speak a lot about my emotions and feelings as a child. A lot like kids today, they just go through silently because they feel that no one really cares or no one's really concerned, that our problems would be brushed off because the adults in our life really had too much on their plates as is, and there were so many other top priorities. And so I always try to remind little Carissa that though we are an adult now, I still resonate with you. I still know that you're healing and you need those safe places. You need love, you need validation, you need affirmation. And now I know that it comes first from God and then from myself, that no one will be able to give it to me the way that God and myself will. So I want this letter to be a reminder to any young girl listening or grown woman who's still dealing with the same wounds that I'm dealing with, or if yours may be different, but your little girl within still needs the reminder that she's loved. This letter is for her. And maybe you need to write your own love letter to her because yours may need to go a little deeper or need to confront some things that mine may not have included, but it's a start. I have some further reflections here about the types of wounds that I just discussed that I suffered with as a young girl and still am healing from today. Father wounds are typically from a father who is absent, unavailable, inconsistent, or are critical fathers. A father wound often influences how a girl sees men, love, and herself. The effects of father wounds are struggles with self-worth. She may grow up wondering, why wasn't I enough for him to stay, to show up, or even try? She may seek external validation, depending on male attention to feel seen or valuable. She'll suffer relationship patterns. She may attract emotionally unavailable partners because it feels familiar. She'll be hyper independent. I don't need anyone. A protective response to early disappointment. She'll also suffer from trust issues, difficulty believing men will stay, support, or choose her consistently. Overall, a father wound shapes her expectations of love and the kind of love she accepts. And those are all true for me. I mean, I suffered and sometimes still do suffer from all of those. And sometimes I secretly wonder, is there a way to ever get over it? Will I ever find someone that will value me the way that I desire to be valued and loved, treated, affirmed, respected, desired, all of the things? And for many girls and women who suffer from father wounds, I'm sure it's the same. We want the love that our father could never give us or would never give us. But I'm here to say that that love first starts with seeking your Father in heaven, whose love is the ultimate source of love, the love beyond any other love that you could ever find. And his love is within you. You are love, and you are able to give yourself the exact form of love that you need. All of the other things that comes with relationships, you can find those things within self as well, or other sources of companionship, but just make sure that it's healthy. I had to discover that the ways I was seeking validation were not healthy because I continued to give myself to men who had no sense of what I really needed or even how to validate or affirm me because they too were wounded. They were emotionally unavailable. So I was giving myself yearning something that they couldn't give me in return, hence hurting myself even further than what I was already dealing with. Father wounds are emotional wounds that are so deep, and it takes a person, or in a romantic relationship, a man truly of God that is covered by God have an intimate relationship with God and is healed himself to truly know what that woman really needs and to begin to heal her the way that she needs to be healed in that romantic space. And if that's you, I pray that you find it. So let's move on. What are mother wounds? Mother wounds are wounds that come from a mother who was critical, distant, overbearing, or emotionally unavailable. A mother wound influences identity, self-love, and emotional safety. The effects of a mother wound on a girl are difficulty nurturing herself. She may not know how to self-soothe, rest, or care for her emotional needs. I didn't. She'll be a people pleaser, consistently seeking approval because love felt conditional growing up. She'll have shame around her emotions. She might feel too much, too sensitive, or guilty for having needs. Fear of other women, competition, mistrust, or discomfort around feminine energy, healthy feminine energy. And she'll strive for perfection, feeling like nothing she does is ever good enough. A mother wound shapes how she sees herself and how she believes she deserves to be treated. When both wounds exist, a girl grows into a woman who loves deeply but accepts too little. She overfunctions in relationships. She doubts her worth, fears abandonment, hides her real emotions, struggles to trust both men and women. She feels responsible for everyone's happiness but her own. She becomes the strong one, the responsible one, the fixer, while silently carrying unmet childhood needs. So if you are one who's dealing with these wounds, as I am, and you haven't started your process of healing, I would suggest get on your healing journey, sis, and seek first God, and then let Him teach you to be the source of love and everything else that you need, because it is within you. And anything else that He knows that you are in need of, He'll supply. So start the process. Trust the process. I'm in it with you. My second love letter is for the me who loved the wrong people. Don't we all need one of these letters, right? Dear Carissa, I know you tried. I know you gave love like it was oxygen and they were running out of breath. But some people can't receive love because they don't know how to hold it. And none of that was your fault. You weren't foolish. You were hopeful. You weren't weak. You were loyal. I wish someone would have told you sooner. Real love doesn't make you shrink. Real love doesn't make you question your worth. Real love doesn't leave you starving. You deserved to be chosen without begging. This letter for me is one that is not only reflective of my past, but reflective of my present, because sometimes it's so easy to still give your love to the wrong people out of habit, out of the wounds of still trying to seek validation, wanting to overextend and overgive because you do want that in return. You want to be chosen. But I often have to take a step back and remind myself that, yes, I am healing. Yes, I now understand where my true source of love comes from. I know that I am love, and it's okay for me to give my love. But sometimes the people that I decide to give my love to really may not deserve my love. I know the Bible tells us that, we should love everyone. And yes, we should. With agape love, brotherly love, the love that wants the best for someone, even if they aren't with you anymore, even if they're not in your orbit anymore, just wanting the best for them. That's the love we should be spreading throughout the world. But when you choose to give someone the intimate parts of your love and they can't receive it because they don't know how to hold it, they don't know how to receive love because they don't know how to love, and they don't know how to reciprocate that because they truly don't hold a space for love within themselves because they haven't yet did the inner work and healing to understand that they too are loved, then that's when we get to the place where we give our love to the wrong people that we really shouldn't be giving it to. We hold space for people that we really shouldn't be holding space for. And so in those instances, we have to remind ourselves that, yes, I may love this person, but I can't force them to receive my love. And I can't keep being the one who pull and there's nothing else being poured into me. Jesus loved everyone, but there were some people that he had to set strict boundaries with and limit his love because he just knew that they couldn't receive it. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Jewish people couldn't receive his love. They couldn't receive him because they didn't really see him. And the same goes for us. There are some people who just won't be able to really see us or refuse to. And no matter how hard we try to love them, if they aren't operating in their own source of love in a healthy space, they will never be able to receive our love out of the healthy space. So this is a reminder, this love letter to you. If you are in that place, don't stay too long. Don't allow your well to run dry before you identify and understand that this cistern won't be able to give me what I need. It won't be able to pour out what I need. So I can't keep trying to make it work for water to flow out of it and it's empty or it just refused to turn on. So you have to make the bold choice to walk in to what you deserve and let be what it is you can no longer pull into. Moving on, love letter 3. This is for the me that's still healing privately. Dear healing Carissa, I know you're exhausted. Healing is heavy, especially when you're doing it alone. People think you're strong, but you have no idea how many nights I've cried quietly. But listen, you're breaking patterns your family carried for generations. You are choosing a different future than the one you were handed. That's not weakness. That's bravery. I wish someone would have told you that the healing version of you is still worthy of love, not just the finished version, not just the version who has it all figured out. You, right now, are deserving. And man, do I need the reminder from that love letter that though I am in my healing space and on my healing journey still, I heal privately. I don't heal outwardly for everyone to see or everyone to ask or know what's going on with me. Those that are concerned and know me, they'll know when to ask those questions because it'll be written all over my face. I'm not one to hide my emotions. I don't do that anymore. That was the unhealed version of Carissa, who put on the brave face, the smile, the I'm okay, the strong woman mask. No, mask off for me. When I'm not okay, you'll know I'm not okay. And if you are someone who's in my corner that really loves and care about me, you'll know when your concern is warranted. And so this love letter is for the version of me that is here present with you today. The version that is still working through a marriage reconciliation. The version that's still trying to figure out how to get over her trust issues, how to heal the wounds that have been embedded so deeply in me. Trying to figure out if I can even make it. Healing isn't easy. When you're doing it right, it's hard. And man, sometimes it will knock your socks off and take your breath completely away. But oh, how beautiful it is when the finished product emerges. And it don't even have to be the complete product. But when that version of you is exposed, the version of you that is healthy enough now to express your needs, to express your heart, to set healthy boundaries and limits in relationships, that you have in your life, the version of you that's not afraid to speak up for yourself, or that little version of you that's still within there, that little girl, little boy, the version of you that emerges renewed, redefined, refined because you've been through the fire and you didn't come out smelling like folk. God purified you in the gold in that the golden aura that you now carry is so bright that it can't be dimmed or hidden. That's what healing does. It presents a better version of you. We'll always be evolving and transforming and developing as long as we're on this earth, because the Bible tells us that God takes us from glory to glory to glory, which means there's always a better version of us that He is curating on the inside for those to see on the outside. But when you allow Him to do His masterful work in private, what emerges on the external, man, is something that no one else can take credit for. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And so, though it hurts deeply sometimes, I wouldn't give up this journey for anything. And I wouldn't go back for anything, because I want to experience the transformation of God taking me from glory to glory to glory. That when I stand in front of Him, I am the most purified version of myself and of His artsmanship. Love letter 4 is for the version of me who feels unseen. Dear invisible Carissa, I know what it feels like to be surrounded by people and still feel alone. To show up for everyone else and have no one truly show up for you. I wish I could look you in the eyes and tell you this: you matter. Your presence changes rooms you don't even realize. Your kindness leaves fingerprints on people's hearts. And even if they don't say it, someone out there loves you the way you exist. You're not invisible. You are just around people who don't know how to see you. What truth this holds. In the unhealed version of me, I was one who had so many, what I believe to be true friendships. I was always such a loyal friend. I would put my friends before everything before I became a mom. My friends were my world. They were my top priorities over family, over everything. And I proud myself on being such a loyal friend because friendship meant so much to me. And I don't know if it was because I was broken and I did suffer from those wounds, and I was a people pleaser, and I just wanted to be validated in any relationship, or needed people, or that I grew up as the only girl and I didn't have sisters, and I always wanted sisters, but I had cousins, but they had their own sisters. And so it was just a thing that when I became of age and I accumulated friends, and you know, they were the world to me. And today, I literally can say I have one true friend, maybe two. And I still count my cousins whom I grew up with as they're my sisters, but they're also my friends and family. And the type of person that I am still that girl who deems friendship to be so valuable. And I am still, to this day, the loyal friend that I pride myself on being. But things change, dynamics change, priorities change. And the friend that I do still have remaining in my life is still in my life because she understands that, and the bond that we share is more than friendship at this point, is sisterhood. But having friends that you can count on even when you are in such tough spaces, when romantic relationships may not be going right, when family relationships may not be going right, when work relationships may not be going right, when anything else in your life just may not be going right, you just have a solid core group of women who have your back. Still deem that so valuable because it's nothing like it. See, I'm one who grew up in the late 80s and 90s and the 2000s. And so, you know, girlfriends and Sex in the City and now Harlem and all of the shows that show Black women or women in general with just such solid friendships, I hold so close because those relationships to me are dreams. I only dream of having a group of women that I know I will grow old with, just like having a romantic relationship with someone that you just know you're going to grow old with. Having a group of women in your life that exemplifies that, for me, it holds weight. And so being in the place where I am now in my mid 30s and having just one true friend who I love beyond measure, but I can't say that I don't crave the bonds of still having a friend group that can breed more of a sisterhood where we are lock and key for life. That means something just as much as it means of finding a partner that you know will continue to choose you for the rest of your life and show up for you without any questions and you for them. And so being seen for me isn't just being seen romantically, isn't just being seen in the world, but being seen by people that you deem so valuable, people that you treasure with every part of you, every fiber of your being. That's what being seen means for me. And so if that is you as well, it's okay, sis. And I'm sure it's out there for us. We'll find it. Love letter 5 for the future me. Dear future Carissa, I hope you're proud of how far you've come. I hope the pain that once broke you now becomes the testimony that strengthens others. I hope you wake up next to peace, not anxiety. I hope you finally understand that every version of you deserve love, even the ones you don't talk about. And I hope you never forget this. You became the love letter you needed. I became the love letter that I needed. I am still a woman in transition. I am still a healing woman. I am still a woman becoming. I feel whole, wholer than what I was, but I know that there are still broken places within me, broken pieces of me that God is still mending back together, parts of my heart that still needs reviving. And I'm okay with her. I actually like her a lot. I have come to a place where I now can enjoy who I am, every part of me, even in my moodiness, even in my impatience, even in my frustration. I love me. I like who God made. When I look in the mirror and see this reflection, I see his beautiful craftsmanship. I see the essence and the reflection of Christ, his spirit that lives within me. I don't need to be surrounded by a group of people or in a room full of people to feel seen, to be heard, or to be comfortable with myself, or need someone telling me just how beautiful I am or how special I am or how intelligent I am or whatever. Those things are good to hear from time to time, but I'm not one that has a fragile ego. I don't operate on haughtiness or out of a space of pride. I try to walk as much as possible in the humility of Christ. And that humility has allowed me to know myself and love myself and enjoy myself like I've never done before. I enjoy being home alone and just lounging and resting. I enjoy my own company. I make myself laugh. I love feeding my mind and growing my spirit and nourishing my soul and exercising my body. I love me. And I couldn't say that before. And God has brought me to this place where I now can and mean it. I love you, Carissa. And I mean it, girl. And if you can't say that about yourself yet, I pray that you'll get to that space. I pray that you'll allow God to continue to work on you and transform you and transition you so that you can get to that space where you don't need someone to always be there to feel like you are valuable or to feel joy or have happiness or laughter. I pray that you'll find it in yourself. And these love letters are just templates for anyone that is in this position, that is on their healing journey. Write your own love letters to yourself and reflect on them. What parts of you do they hit most? And where do you see yourself going in your future? Where do you want to be? Where do you strive to get to? What outcomes are you looking for most for God to do in your life? Don't just sit in the healing journey. Embrace it, enjoy it, because it is just that, a journey, and it's a lifelong one. So buckle up for the ride, because it comes with ebbs and flows, and there will be low times and there will be high times. But remember that God is with you through all of it. And if you need me, where's the love is too. So I hope I see you back here in the next episode. And before we close out, I just want to do a closing reflection with you. These letters weren't just things I wish someone told me. They're things many of us needed and still need at some point. Maybe you recognized yourself in one of these letters. Maybe you needed a reminder you didn't fail. You just weren't nurtured the way you deserved. The beautiful thing is, you can give yourself the love you never received. You can write the story differently from here. You can become the safe place you always wanted. The words you needed then, you can speak them now. Thank you for listening to this heart-centered episode of Where's the Love? Share this with someone who you know needs a love letter today, or is on their healing journey, or wants to start and just don't know where to begin. And in the meantime, continue to be the love that the world needs. And I'll see you back here for the next one.